Okay, today I'm going to show you how we take a used Epson 103 Eco Tank and flush it out so that we can start using it for dye sublimation printing. And it's quite simple this. First of all, I've emptied out all the ink into the printer itself because it's a new printer. Came with a lot of ink, so I'm going to use all the ink as normal for normal printing. There's two reasons for this. One, it makes sure that I can test the printer fully with the genuine Epson inks. Then if there's any problem with the printer, it can go back under warranty, whereas if I just discarded the Epson ink and filled it straight away with dye sublimation ink and there was a problem with the printer and I had to send it back, it could cause some issues with the warranty. So I've emptied out my ink bottles. You can see there's still a little bit of ink left in the bottom there, not to worry. So what you'll need first is a syringe. You don't need the needle on, and you'll find that these products have all got a little, I don't know whether you can see this here, they've got a little membrane in there so that if you, for example, to fill it with water, it doesn't come out. So that when you've got this full of ink, you can turn it upside down, the ink doesn't come out until you put it into the printer, which just opens that little membrane, allowing the ink to come out. So I'm going to just take that little bit of water back out. There's still a little bit of colour in that, not to worry. There we are. So that's an empty tank. So I'm going to take this yellow tank now. I'm going to put my syringe just into that there, and I'm just going to pull out the last little bit of ink that might be in there. There's not much. There we go, and we'll just squirt that away. And now I'm going to fill the bottle with some water. These bottles, by the way, take about 80 milligrams of ink. They come from Epson with about 75 millilitres of ink. So if you're using this for the weight is intended, i.e. just to print with Epson inks, when you buy these cartridges they come with about 175 millilitres of ink in them. Compare that to your traditional inkjet cartridges, that come with about 12 to 17 millilitres of ink, and you can see that they are quite efficient. So what I'm doing here, I don't know if you can see this, is I'm injecting it with some clear water from this bowl straight into there, in with the water, right, and then I'm going to suck the ink out again, the water out again, and this is how I am flushing the bottle out. You see, each time I do this there will be less residue of ink in the, I'll show you that a little bit clearer, literally just goes into there, we pull the plunger down and we pull out all the water that I've just put in, bringing out the residue of the ink. And we just squirt that away, and we carry on going until we've got all the water out. Now I might do it a couple of times, put a bit more water in, again syringe in, just simply squirt in some nice clear water, as so. Give it a bit of a shake, take the water out, and as you can see there's getting less yellow in that water every time I do it. Basically this is just flushing out the old ink, preparing the bottle for the dye sublimation ink. There we go. Now, you can see by my hands I am getting a little bit of ink on myself, so you may decide to wear gloves to do this. I will just wash my hands after I've finished and I shall be happy enough with that. Okay, so that's another cartridge done. And I have one more left to do and I will have done so. Now, having flushed my bottles out with some ordinary tap water, the next thing to do is just give them a little bit of a flush out with some distilled water, because tap water can have impurities such as lime scale in the water, so you could really do with getting that bit of tap water kind of flushed out as well if you can. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some printhead cleaner that I've got lying around because I've got no distilled water. So with the printhead cleaner I'm going to put some into a little ramekin like so, which is a nice clear liquid, and then I'm going to put my syringe in and draw up a little bit of the printhead cleaner. I'm going to take my bottles. We'll start with the lightest. I'm going to put in a little printhead cleaner. Put a little bit more in. Give it a bit of a shake out, and I'm going to draw that out. There we go. Now I've started with the yellow for a very specific reason, is I'm going to use that same liquid to just rinse out all my cartridges, because I'm extremely tight. I don't like to waste money, and by starting with a light colour and then working through the various ink cartridges, I can get her away with using the same syringe to clean out all my cartridges. And if there is any colour residue still left lying about, it's only going to be a tiny little bit, and when it's diluted down with the Dye Sublimation Ink that's got in there, it really will not make any difference. But I've gone from light to dark, so the last one I'm doing now is the black, giving it a little shake out, and we will take out that last bit of liquid out of it. I don't know whether you can see that particularly well. Alright, there's a little bit of colour to it, alright, but not much, not enough to worry about. These cartridges are, to all intensive purposes, empty and clean now and ready to take Dye Sublimation Ink. Alright. Dye Sublimation Ink, yellow. Cleaned out an empty yellow cartridge. Dye Sublimation Ink cartridge into there, a little bit of a squeeze, there we go. And now we have Dye Sublimation Ink in an easy to use Epson refill bottle. And there we have some Dye Sublimation bottled ink ready to go when I'm ready to start dye sublimation printing again. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's useful for you.